Hey guys, Dr. Stephanie here, and today we're talking about hip flexors. If you constantly feel a pain or tightness in the front of your hip, or maybe you just sit for a long time and when you stand up, it just feels so stiff you feel like you can't get moving, you may need to start working on hip flexor strength and mobility. I'm going to give you 6 exercises today that you can do to get rid of that pain and get rid of that tightness. So for the first one, you're going to sit like this, legs out straight, and just lift your leg up off the ground and back down. You want to make sure you tighten your quad first, kind of push your knee down into the ground, and then lift your leg up and back down slowly. And then repeat on the other side. You want to make sure you keep your back up tall as you do this. You don't want to be leaning backwards, so we're really focusing on those hip flexors. For the second one, we're going to grab this yoga block, or you can grab any type of object, place it next to your leg, and you're going to do the same thing. So lift your leg straight up, and then lift it over that object, and then lift it up and back over the object. So you're just going back and forth, lifting up and over. That just adds a little bit of difficulty to the first exercise. But we're really focusing on working those hip flexors. So again, we don't want to lean back too far. If you feel like you're leaning back too far, grab a smaller object or like rotate this so you don't have to lift quite so high. And then you can gradually work up to a higher object. For the third exercise, we're going to grab this band here, place it around our feet, and lie down on our back. From here, you're going to bring one knee up towards your chest, and then back down slowly, and then bring the other knee up towards your chest, and back down slowly. This way we're working our hip flexors in different positions because that's important because the hip flexor has a full range of motion, and if we're just working it in a sitting position, we're kind of only working it through half of the range of motion. So we need to work on these hip flexors in varying positions because we're moving in different positions all during the day. So just pull up as high as you can and then back down. Pull the other leg up and back down slowly. For the next exercise, we're going to keep that band there and lift our feet up in the air, knees bent like this, and we're going to straighten one leg out and then bring it back, and then straighten the other leg out and bring it back, alternating back and forth. When you straighten one leg, you want to make sure the other leg stays in position. So straighten and then back slowly. Straighten and back slowly. Okay, for the next exercise, we're going to leave that band there. We don't need it for this next one, but we'll need it for the one after that. We're going to do a bridge. So we're just going to lift our hips up and then back down. Lift up and back down. This exercise works the glutes as well and the core, but it's also working those hip flexors and kind of getting some mobility out of them. We're kind of getting them into the opposite position of sitting where those muscles are shortened. We lift up and get some extension there and then come back down. So just lift up and back down slowly. For the next exercise, we're going to use the band. This is more challenging. So lift up into a bridge and then lift one knee up and then the other knee up, marching back and forth. If you find the band to be too challenging, you can start doing this exercise without the band and then add the band when you're ready. For each of those exercises, I would start with just 10 to 15 reps on each side and then gradually increase until you're doing maybe 3 sets of 10 reps total. But you can do all of those every day. You can do them every other day. Just work on building that hip flexor strength, work on that mobility, and that stiffness you're feeling in the front of your hip should eventually go away.